Now, as we already mentioned, we recently introduced VPC, and I know the terminology itself, of course, from public cloud environments, like for instance AWS. Can you maybe explain what it is, and is it comparable to what you see in public clouds, or is it something completely different? Because it kind of threw me off at first when I saw that term popping up.
Yeah. Now, I think we can be honest. We totally stole it from AWS. That's actually. I don't think we should maybe be making any kind of apology for that. I mean, Amazon calls it VPCs. Google also calls it VPCs. Azure calls it VNets. But in the end, it's kind of the same kind of idea. Essentially, the way we've done the VPCs or virtual private clouds, as it's fully called, it's really an abstraction layer of NSX. It kind of hides away the underlying complexity that NSX has, and also allows you to kind of create this hierarchy between the consumer part, how to use it, and the provider part, the guys who basically set up all of the back end of the connectivity, such that it's very easy to create a group of self-contained networks within VCF, so that networking security can be kind of consumed in a self-service manner, but at the same time very much guardrailed. So the enterprise admin or the network admin basically kind of defines exactly what the consumer can get to in terms of quotas and limits, like the amount of networks, the amount of IP addresses, the amount of firewall rules, etc. And essentially, the VPC user or the VPC consumer gets this little slice of the network, and he thinks he can do whatever he likes, but of course he can't. He can only create X amount of networks in his own little tiny environment. But it looks like it's like the typical cloud thing, right? It's like, so it looks like a computer. It looks like a network. Is it a network? Well, if it smells like it, if it talks like it probably is. But in reality, it's just a little slice of the network. It's not the entire networking infrastructure that you get. So that's the kind of idea. So think of it like each VPC user gets a slice of VCF networking from a networking and security perspective, without stepping on another VPC's users' toes. So it gives you isolation as well as guardrailing of limits and quotas from a networking security perspective. In terms of what it can do inside a VPC, you can create subnets. And we also decided to change the name of the NSX object, which we used to call segments, which is kind of very funny name. Nobody knows what a segment is. I don't know. It's a slice of things. I don't know. So we decided to rename it to something that everybody can relate to, a subnet. You can also define a certain set of network services, and typically you just kind of flip it on with a flick of the switch or like a little check mark. And you can also basically define tagging of your workloads in some way, so such that if you place your workloads on a certain network with a certain tag, you know that automatically it will fall into the security policy that has been created by somebody else. So it's very much leading to strict workload separation coupled with role-based access, thereby leading to adopting a very safe way of self-service consumption models.